Hey there, let's get real for a sec. Have you ever told yourself, tomorrow I am definitely skipping dessert, or I've got to drink way more water? And then something happens later in the day, you're tired, someone brings cookies, and suddenly you're like, wait, what happened to my plan? Or maybe you decided you're going to work out 3 times this week, and you have this intention, but when the moment comes, something else comes up, you have an excuse, or you're feeling tired again, you're suddenly on the couch, and your motivation is like nowhere to be found. And the worst part, if you're anything like me, you start feeling awful about it, like it's a personal flaw of some kind. Like you just don't have enough discipline or willpower. Does this sound familiar? If it does, you are so not alone. So many women that I speak to have been there, and I've been there myself. And if this does sound like you, this video is for you, because by the end, you'll understand why willpower keeps failing you, why it's not your fault, and you'll also understand what actually works instead. I'm Nadya, by the way. Think of me as your friendly, holistic wellness coach who's been exactly where you are. And I'm someone who can't help but share simple strategies that have worked for me and for the women I support. I know that just knowing what to do for our health isn't enough. Actually doing it, and doing it consistently, can often feel like such an uphill battle, especially when we're busy and taking care of everyone else. I totally get that. Aside from running a transformative wellness program for women like me, women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond, I am a mom of 4 kids, and I'm also deeply involved in humanitarian work in Ukraine. So trust me, I totally get what it's like to show up for everything and everyone and to have great intentions to take care of yourself, but feel like you're just kind of in survival mode all the time, and resorting to whatever is easiest in the moment ends up being the way, right? And now I work with women who are really determined to make healthy changes so that they can show up fully for themselves, for the people they love, for the lives they want to live. And guess what? What I see over and over again is this. These amazing, capable women, smart, high-achieving women who all think they have a willpower problem, but they don't. And I'll tell you why in a minute. And once they start using a new approach, which I'll share with you today, everything changes. They stop feeling like they're starting over every Monday, and they start feeling connected again, empowered, in rhythm again with their body, with their energy, and their healthy choices. So in today's video, I'm going to share why willpower is actually a broken strategy when it comes to healthy choices, and what you can do instead. Oh, and by the way, I'll be sharing lots more strategies like this over the next few weeks. Strategies on consistency, on how to reduce inflammation, how to eat for your unique metabolism. So make sure to hit subscribe below and tap the little bell after you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Okay, let's start with one really important truth. If you've been struggling to stay on track or to keep promises you've made to yourself, there is nothing wrong with you. You don't lack willpower or self-discipline, okay? The real problem is that we've been told to rely on willpower, which just doesn't work the way we think it does for healthy choices. Think of willpower as your decision-making muscle, right? In fact, in our brain, it's the same part that helps you make all the choices throughout the day, like what to wear, what to eat, whether to answer this email or comment on the social post. You get the idea, right? So, and that muscle, like any other muscle in the body, it gets tired throughout the day. In fact, you can think of willpower as your phone battery. You start out strong, but it drains as the day goes on. And every little choice you make throughout the day uses up a bit of that energy. So no wonder that by the time you hit 3 p.m. or so and someone offers you a cookie, your decision-making battery is basically dead. And to that, if you add stress or lack of sleep or just an emotional day, trust me, you're starting the morning already half drained. So again, when that cookie or the couch or the glass of wine calls your name, you go for it, right? And it's not a moral failure. It's biology. It's just how your brain is wired. And I'm going to tell you how to work with that. Does this reframe surprise you a little bit? If it does, tell me in the comments. Like when you realize that it's not willpower, it's not discipline, it's simply how we are wired. Is that an aha moment for you? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. So what do we do about it? If our willpower muscle is basically the same as our decision-making muscle and it runs out fast, what we have to do is we have to stop relying on making decisions in the moment. Instead, we plan ahead. It means anticipating those tricky moments, those danger zones or moments of resistance that you know about yourself. Anticipating those moments ahead of time when you're calm and you can think clearly. And that's the time to set up kind of little systems that make the healthy choice the easy choice. So here are 3 of my favorite ways to do that. The first strategy is called habit stacking, and it's truly a game changer. What you basically do is you take something you already always do every day and stack a new healthy habit right on top of it. You pair them together, you attach it. Here are some examples. Every morning you brush your teeth, right? Great. So you can pre-decide that right after that, you're going to drink a glass of water to help increase your daily water intake. You don't just hope to drink more water. You actually pre-decide, pre-plan when exactly you'll drink that first glass, exactly after you brush your teeth. It's one less decision to make, and that's what saves your willpower for other things. That's one example. Another one is this. Every time you use the bathroom after, you can do a few stretches or 10 squats or maybe some calf raises before you even walk out the door, before you leave the bathroom. I know it sounds small, but that's how consistency builds, through tiny automatic choices that you barely have to think about. Or if you've been wanting to start meditating, but it just isn't happening, don't just say, I'll meditate sometime today, because it's not going to happen. It's too vague. Instead, you use the habit stacking strategy and you say, after I pour my morning tea or while my morning tea is brewing, I'll sit for 2 minutes in silence and breathe. Boom, done. No willpower needed, just rhythm, right? And if you're aiming for something bigger, like you've been trying to exercise for 20 to 30 minutes or go to the gym every morning, but it's just not been happening, what you could do is maybe instead of trying to go for it in the morning, because that's obviously not happening, maybe you stack the habit of exercise to a different time of day instead. Like, for example, stopping by the gym on your way home from work before the couch even has a chance to call your name. Or maybe it's the other way around for you, right? We're all different. We all have different life demands. If evenings get too busy or your energy dips by then, you could stack that habit earlier in the day, like right before lunch or right after lunch. You could do 20 or 30 minutes of exercise. So you kind of get the idea, right? The key is to tie the habit to something that already happens naturally in your day at a time that fits your real life, not some kind of ideal schedule. You're piggybacking off something that's already happening, so you don't need extra willpower to remember this. The key is to pre-decide those little habit pairs ahead of time and to experiment. And don't worry, you don't have to remember all of this exactly right now or write it down, because at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you where you can get a printable PDF with 50 consistency strategies with examples like these. So you can pick and choose and experiment with whatever will fit your life and your goals. Okay? But before I do that, I really want to explain how these strategies work, and I have 2 more to share with you. So the second strategy for consistency is called the if-then planning. And this one is like making a little deal with yourself in advance. It's basically you're saying, if this happens, if I have this danger zone or this craving or this resistance, this is what I will do instead. So I'll give you a couple of examples. You can say, if I'm craving ice cream at night or after dinner, I will first make herbal tea, put on my softest PJs, and curl up with a good book. So you just plan that, you experiment with that, and you see what happens. This strategy has worked for a lot of women that I work with that are trying to overcome sugar cravings, for example. Or in a different situation, if you say like, okay, I've planned to work out, but I'm too tired to work out. You can say, if that happens, then I'll just put on my sneakers and stretch for 5 minutes, gentle stretching. And guess what? Usually that's enough to just get you started. Once you're stretching, once you have oxygen going through your body, you'll actually crave more movement and you'll end up feeling less tired and you're likely to exercise and move your body for longer. So see how this strategy works? By using the if-then strategy, you're not arguing with yourself in the moment. You're not trying to make a decision in the moment, right? You've already pre-decided and you made a plan and you have an idea of what you're going to do instead. Oh, and in terms of sugar cravings, most of the time, what we're craving isn't even the cookie or the ice cream itself. We're craving comfort, rest, or just a little peace after a long day. So with if-then planning, you're meeting that real need on purpose, which is so much kinder and more productive, more effective than trying to be strong and then not following through and then beating yourself up about it, right? So the third strategy that I want to share with you is called architect your environment. Now, this one is sneaky powerful, and honestly, it's probably my favorite. It's about setting up your space, like your bedroom, your kitchen, your counter space, in such a way that the healthy choice becomes the obvious one. Because when your environment supports you, you don't have to think so hard. You don't have to make those in-the-moment decisions, right? I'll give you a couple of examples. If you want to drink more water, keep a bottle right on your counter or your desk. Get a beautiful bottle that you love, that you look forward to drinking from, and just have it in front of your eyes. If you want to move more, prepare your workout clothes the night before, or leave your yoga mat unrolled in the living room so you're just gonna step on it. If you want to eat better, put the healthy snacks in your fridge, in your cupboard at eye level, and move the chips or cookies out of sight into your garage, or don't buy them at all. And actually, this is a tiny bit of a side note, but this strategy of putting certain things on eye level is often used by supermarkets to have us buy the most expensive, not necessarily the healthiest things. It's their marketing strategy because they know human psychology. So we can use this strategy to architect our environment for healthier choices. Put those healthy snacks in your fridge, your pantry at eye level. So the goal with this strategy is very simple, like make the good choice easy and the not so good choice a little harder. Because honestly, we're all busy. And if the choice is easy and visible, it will happen. If it's hidden or inconvenient, it doesn't happen. So can you see how much easier this feels? Instead of trying to push yourself to make the right choice in the hardest moments, you're removing that friction before you ever get there. You're designing your day to work for you, not against you. You're working with how your brain is wired and not against it. That's really the secret. It's not about being stronger. It's about being smarter with how you set things up in advance. And that's why these strategies work, because they don't depend on motivation or willpower in the moment. And the best part is that when these strategies start to work, you stop blaming yourself and you start setting yourself up for success. And then something shifts. You begin to trust yourself again. And that trust is what actually builds momentum going forward. So these are just 3 of the many strategies that make consistency of healthy choices so much easier. And like I said, I have a whole list of 50 simple practical strategies that you can play with. You can download them and print them. You can play with them to make healthy habits stick. So you can easily grab that free guide by using the link that I put in the description box below this video. It's full of examples for healthy food choices, for movement, hydration, mindfulness, and do make sure to subscribe because over the next few weeks, I'll be sharing so many more strategies, not only for consistency, but also strategies for reducing inflammation, improving your gut health, optimizing weight, and so on. Thanks so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next video.